Have you ever wondered, why do some people rise from nothing and change their destiny, while others stay stuck in the same life year after year? Is it luck? Is it money? Is it opportunity? No, it all begins with mindset. Today you will hear a powerful story, the story of a simple beggar who discovered a truth that completely transformed his life. And maybe this story will transform yours too. Stay with me until the end, because the lesson hidden inside this story can change the way you think forever. In a busy railway station, filled with noise, people rushing, and constant movement, there lived a beggar. Every day, from morning till night, he walked around with a small bowl in his hand, asking travelers for a few coins. Some ignored him. Some gave him a little. Most walked away without even looking. He had accepted this life as his destiny. He believed he had nothing, and because of that belief he expected nothing. But he didn't know. Life was about to teach him a lesson that would unlock a door inside him that had been closed for years. One afternoon, as trains came and left, the beggar noticed a man stepping onto the platform. He was different. Well-dressed, confident, calm. His suit was clean, his shoes polished, and his eyes sharp with purpose. The beggar thought, "This man must be rich. If I ask him for money, he will surely give me more than others." So he walked toward him, held out his bowl, and whispered softly, "Sir, please help me." But instead of giving money, the businessman paused, looked at him curiously, and asked a question that stunned him. "Tell me," the businessman said, "do you always take from others? Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar froze. No one had ever asked him that. He stuttered, "Sir, I am just a beggar. I survive by asking for alms. I have nothing to give." The businessman smiled gently and said, "If you believe you have nothing to give, then you also have no right to ask for anything. I am a businessman. I believe in exchange. If you give something, you can receive something. But if you offer nothing, you will receive nothing." Then he stepped onto his train and disappeared. The beggar stood there, shocked, confused, and strangely disturbed. That night he couldn't sleep. The businessman's words kept echoing in his mind. "If you want to receive, you must first give." He asked himself, "What can I give? I am poor, empty, worthless. I have nothing." But the thought wouldn't leave him. For the first time in his life, he questioned the belief that he had nothing to offer. 2 days passed. He still hadn't asked anyone for money. He was too lost in thought. On the third day, while sitting near the tracks, something beautiful caught his eye. A small patch of wild flowers, bright, colorful, fresh, growing freely by the train line. And suddenly, a spark lit inside him. A simple thought, what if I give these flowers to people when they give me money? For the first time in years, he felt a tiny sense of purpose, a sense of creating value. He picked a few flowers carefully and returned to his usual spot. A man dropped a coin into his bowl. The beggar smiled, held out a flower, and said softly, "This is for you." The man looked surprised, then smiled warmly and accepted the flower. Another person came, another coin, another flower. People began to look at him differently, not as someone begging, but as someone giving something back. And slowly, his income increased, day by day, week by week. But he also noticed something else, a pattern. When he had flowers, people gave more. When he didn't, they gave less. He finally understood. People value what you offer. Give value. Receive value. One day, as he was handing out flowers, he saw a familiar face inside a train. The businessman. The beggar rushed toward him, and said, "Sir, today I have something to give you. If you give me money, I will give you flowers in return." The businessman smiled proudly. He handed him money and accepted the flowers. Then he said, "You have understood the secret of exchange. Today, you are no longer a beggar. You are a businessman." And before the train moved, he added, "Grow this. Build this. You have more potential than you think." The train left, but his words stayed. That night, the beggar sat alone, thinking, "A businessman? Is that really me?" Then he realized people were not giving him money out of pity. They were paying for the flowers he gave. He wasn't begging anymore. He was trading. He made a decision that changed everything. I will never beg again. The next morning, he left the railway station, not as a beggar, but as a man with purpose. 6 months passed. At the same railway station, 2 well-dressed men shook hands. One of them looked familiar. The businessman squinted and asked, "Do I know you?" The other man smiled and said, "Yes, we met twice before. Right here." The businessman's eyes widened. "Wait, you're the beggar I once spoke to, and the man who later sold me flowers." "Yes," the man laughed. "That was me. But today I run a successful flower business. I'm traveling to expand it." The businessman was amazed. "What changed your life?" The man replied, "You taught me something priceless. We only receive when we give." That day, I understood. I was never a beggar. I was a businessman waiting to be born. They shook hands again, now as equals. Your life is shaped not by what you have today, but by how you see yourself. If you believe you are weak, you will remain weak. If you believe you are small, you will remain small. But if you recognize the potential inside you, even if it's just a tiny spark, you can change your entire future. Success doesn't start with money. It starts with mindset. Change your thoughts, and your life will follow. If this story inspired you, give it a like, comment what you learned, and share it with someone who needs hope today. See you in the next video.